Welcome to this video on learning tips or on digital contents. So first question, hey, why this video? Why this video? So this video, we decided to make this video because today most of the learning is happening by watching videos and digital contents, and we believe that learning does not happen through passive listening, right? Now, one example of passive listening or passive consumption is movies, right? You watch a movie, and if I ask you, hey, what happened in that movie, you would be able to give me only a vague summary, right? I mean, you tend to forget what the details of the movie is, or even a casual novel that you read a few months before, but that's not what we expect when you learn, right? So now the second question is, so what is learning? Now, what is learning, right? Now, let's say you read a book, and you read a book, right? I mean, sorry for my drawing, but you read, and as you read something, you think that oh, the learning happens in the brain, right? Learning happens, right? Now, if you go into the biology, I mean, you can say that these are connections of neurons, neuron connections, which are made based on certain understanding, and you develop certain triggers for making some connections and so on, right? But the real question is, how do you know that did learning really happen? And because your brain cannot answer that question for yourself. You cannot say what I know and what I don't know. You can only say either by two methods. Either you write a test to check whether if you really understood things, or the other method is you try to reproduce, and you reproduce or you teach someone. Now, when you do this, you really are trying to explain somebody what you have absorbed, and that makes sure that your connections become very, very strong, right? So one of the ways in which you do this reproduction is by writing notes in traditional ways, right? In traditional days, we used to write a lot of notes. So you write your notes, and as you read something. Now that makes sure that you're testing. This acts as a test. This acts as a test for real understanding, because you challenge yourself as you try to explain, and you're trying to reproduce. And one other benefit is your neuron connections become really strong as you write the notes, and this helps for revision. So people think that notes are for studying, but actually notes are for revision, because every time you revise, you make your neuron connection stronger, right? And not only you're making the neuron connection stronger, you're also remembering what all went into your head when you made that notes. So now the question is, how do you do digital learning, especially the math, right? Digital learning of things like math. Now, as you can see, most of these videos that we make, we try to do problems, right? So let me watch a TV, or put a TV or something, and then here is you. So you're watching, right? You're watching. Now, one of the things that you should do is, for every 2 minutes, you pause. And this is very important, because it is multiple things. It's good for your eyes. The second thing is, as you pause, you reproduce, and reproduce by writing notes, right? And as you do that, you're really, or you can act as if you're teaching somebody, right? Act as if you're teaching someone, right? And as you and make notes, as you do this, you're actually making sure that you're making neuron connections, and you're making sure that you've understood what you've watched. And this is extremely important, and we can't re-emphasize this more. You got to really pause for every 2 minutes and try to reproduce and make notes. Otherwise, what you're watching is actually you're watching a performing art of a teacher, right? With his bad drawings and bad writings and all those stuff. So I really urge you to follow this method. I would also urge you to dig in to Feynman method of learning. Feynman method is after a great physicist called Richard Feynman, who suggested a method of learning which is very effective. So please do watch that video and try to make your learning effective, especially with math. Thanks so much.